Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about map skills and something very important, not only in social studies, but also in just real life and being able to read a map and know what's on a map and what it's looking for. Today for our warm-up, we are just going to watch a video. This has been a video that has been a hot topic in my classes. It's either loved or hated. So let's figure out how you feel about it as we watch it here in just a moment. So I'm going to throw this on. I hope you enjoy.
Hey, Mr. M, what are we doing today?
I can't read a map, I don't know what these objects are. I can't read a map, what's the box in the corner for? I can't read a map, I don't know which way this should go. I can't read a map, man, I guess I'll just have to learn. There are 5 map features. First the title, which is on the top, borders on the side, don't forget about the compass. There are 5 map features. Compass reads northeast, south, and west, don't forget the key we use to scale the measured distance. I'm learning how to read a map. I'm learning how to read a map. I'm learning how to read a map. I can read a map. Key tells us what we need to know. I can read a map. The title tells us what it's all about. I can read a map. The compass tells us which direction we'll go. I can read a map. I've learned a lot. I think I'm almost pro. We've got 5 map features. First the title, which is on the top, borders on the side. Don't forget about the compass. We've got 5 map features. Compass reads northeast, south, and west. Don't forget the key we use to scale the measured distance. I'm learning how to read a map. I'm learning how to read a map. I'm learning how to read a map. Gonna make you read. You know who I am, Mr. M. Gonna make you read. You know who I am, Mr. M. I'm learning how to read a map. I'm learning how to read a map. I'm learning how to read a map.
Okay, so hopefully you loved it. Now what we are going to do is we're going to be looking at some notes today. So go ahead, get out that journal, get out that notebook. We're going to be looking at some map skills notes, okay? So let's talk about this, the latitude. Latitude lines run horizontally and are also known as parallels. 0 degrees is the equator, that's right in the middle, and it's the longest latitude line. 90 degrees north is the North Pole, and 90 degrees south is the South Pole. One of the best ways that I can tell you is how to remember latitude lines. They run across the Earth this way, so it's pretty flat. So I always remember it as latitude, flatitude. Say that with me. Latitude, flatitude. It's a really easy rhyme to remember, and it's a great way to remember that they are running flat, and that is the ones that are running that way. So if you ever see on a quiz or a test coming up, what are these lines? You'll remember latitude, flatitude, okay? Next, we have the longitude lines. Longitude lines run vertically and are known as meridians. 0 degrees is the prime meridian. Going 180 degrees east and 180 degrees west, they meet at the international date line. So right here is the prime meridian. This is why this line is kind of in the middle of all of the maps, and why we look at, when we look at maps, this is the center. The only reason that is it could have been any of these lines, but the guy that came up with latitude and longitude lived right here, and he wanted the prime meridian to go through his hometown. A great way to remember longitude lines is that they are all of the long lines. They are all long. They are all the same distance, and they're all long. And so longitude lines, okay? The international date line is on the other side of the world, and that is when you cross that line, or the sun crosses that line, it becomes the next day. So we have the prime meridian. This divides the Earth into the western and the eastern hemispheres. Over here we have the western hemisphere, and over here we have the eastern hemisphere. Then we have the equator. That divides the Earth into the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. The United States is in the northern hemisphere, and it's also in the western hemisphere. What's interesting about this are the seasons are opposite. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, right now it's summer going into spring. In the southern hemisphere, it would go from winter into spring. I'm sorry, we're going from summer to fall. Mr. Bennett's had a long day. Then we have our cardinal directions: north, east, south, west. North, east, south, west. Never eat soggy waffles is a great way to remember on how to put the locations and the directions on your compass roads. I also remember this. I always kind of remember where north and south is. I think it's because there is a North Pole and a South Pole, but west and east, sometimes I get that mixed up. So I always remember that it spells we, W-E. Then we have our intermediate directions: the northeast, the southeast, the southwest, and the northwest. Now there are many different kind of maps. There are two maps here. We have the political map, a map that shows government boundaries, countries, states, and cities. And they're usually the ones that are really colorful. They're colorful because they're trying to show the different boundaries through these things. Now, if you were to go to Australia, the ground is not purple, but it shows you the good borders of Australia. Also, if you go, they can do countries, states, and cities. So if we were to zoom up on the United States, then we'd see 50 states. If you were to zoom up on North Carolina, you'd see the different districts of that state. If you were to zoom up on Charlotte, you could see the different zones of the city. And maybe if you even zoomed up on a neighborhood, you could see the different areas for the block. Now we have a map. This is a physical map that shows the natural boundaries and features. So this one's showing altitude. Okay, you can look at this and you don't really see the states on here, right? You can't really see where North Carolina is. But what this does show is the darker the green, the lower it is, the closer to sea level it is. The more red it is, the higher up it is. So I can guess that this is the highest point in America, and it is because it's our Rocky Mountains. The continents and oceans here: North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia. And then we have our oceans: Arctic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Southern Ocean, Indian Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean. Now, we're going to watch a Brain Pop video together real quick here. What I would like you to do is write down somewhere that you will be able to keep that the login info for Brain Pop, the username is PBMS, the password is PBMS. So let's watch this video really quickly together here. And what I would like you to do is sit back, watch this with me.
Why don't you let me do that? Hey, that reminds me. Dear Tim and Moby, maps confuse me like nobody's business. Help. Yours, Scoop. Hello, Scoop. Moby has a problem with maps too, but they're really not all that complicated. A map is just a representation of some part of the Earth's surface. There are all different kinds of maps. Physical maps show natural features like mountains, rivers, lakes, oceans, and other parts of the natural landscape. Political maps show borders of areas like countries, states, and cities. These can shift as wars are fought and government changes happen. Historical maps show movements of people, changing borders, battles, and other historical events. This one shows the march of Napoleon Bonaparte's army into Russia. The blue arrows represent Napoleon's army, and the red arrows represent the Russian army. There are lots of other types of maps, each with different uses. There are nautical maps, geologic maps, topographic maps, and road maps, just to name a few. Most maps, though, have certain things in common. One thing just about any map will have is lines that show country borders and major rivers. This map shows the mineral resources of Africa. Yeah, you can really make a map of pretty much anything. On this map, colors and symbols play a big role. Symbols are little pictures used to represent anything you want. Here, gray triangles represent fuel, yellow squares represent precious metals like gold, blue circles represent gemstones, and gray circles represent non-metals. Oh, I just looked at the legend, or key. A legend tells you what the symbols, lines, and colors on a map mean. See, this one shows what the symbols represent. Labels are words that can explain something about the map. This one says Tropic of Capricorn. A compass rose tells you which way north, south, east, and west are. And a map's scale shows the ratio between the distance on the map and the distance in real life. On this map, 1 inch equals about 1,000 miles. Finally, there's latitude and longitude. Those lines can tell you your exact location on the planet. And there you have it, maps. No, I don't think we should do a movie about how to fold maps. Well, maybe.
Okay, so what you're going to do is go to brainpop.com and then search in the search bar map skills. When you get to that, you'll get to probably this page. It might ask you to log in, and you'll log in here with PBMS. Then you're going to go to quiz. You will take the graded quiz. You can take the graded quiz as many times as you want. It does not matter as long, and you can, this is just for an understanding. Then what I would like you to do is go to this bit.ly. It is going to be a Google Doc, and I will show you what it is. I'll stay on here for just a moment. You can also pause this video and write the bit.ly down and then put it into your user bar. What your bit.ly will look like, or should look like, is like this. Now what you'll do is you'll go over here and make sure that you go to File, Make a Copy. What you need to do is take these things and you're going to drag them and put them into where they go. So if you believe that this one is latitude, then you would drag it down here and put it in there, or you can cut and paste, Control X, and then Control V into here. Tomorrow for our warm-up, we will be running through what the right answers are. So today, just take a couple moments to make sure that you know what you're doing, and that you take your best guess at this, just to see how we're doing and how we're tracking. If you get some wrong tomorrow, it's okay. We will go over it, and this is going to be used for your notes. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for checking this out, and I hope that you learned something new about something old. All right, have a great day.